gonna give you a UFO crash landing card. You can deny it or cover it up. Dude, I don't understand this game at all. So going to hell when you die. Yes, well, until then, I need about $10 million. What the hell would you do with $10 million?
Ever wonder what happened to all those South Park characters who vanished faster than Kenny in a snowstorm? From forgotten classmates to talking turds who just stopped talking, we're digging deep into the show's graveyard of chaos. Grab your cheesy puffs. This is gonna get super serial.
Cool. I can't wait until the teacher yells at us this time and we all tell her to suck our balls. Yeah!
Alright, strap on your tinfoil hats and hide your cheesy poofs, because we're talking about the Visitors, South Park's original booty-loving aliens. These little gray dudes were the show's first real WTF moment, long before Randy started fighting giant Mickey Mouse, or Cartman, opened a theme park out of pure spite. Their grand debut? The South Park pilot, baby. The Visitors pulled up in their flying saucer, took one look at Eric Cartman, and said, "Yep, that's the one." Next thing you know, boom! Cartman's mooning the universe with an 80-foot satellite dish sticking out of his butt. "Sure, you guys, whatever," he says, completely unfazed, like it's just another Tuesday in Colorado. Iconic. After that, the Visitors became the ultimate Easter egg, popping up in the background of almost every early episode. Fans would point at the screen like Leonardo DiCaprio mid-meme, screaming, There's the alien!" It was peak South Park chaos, and everyone loved it. But then, they just vanished. No goodbye probe, no farewell episode, not even a restraining order from Cartman. Why? Well, Matt Stone and Trey Parker originally wanted South Park to be this wild sci-fi series, think The X-Files, but with more fart jokes and fewer budgets. After a few seasons, though, they got tired of the alien shtick and decided to focus more on the four boys and the ridiculous town drama instead. Still, our intergalactic friends make surprise cameos in episodes like Dead Celebrities and Logging Off. They might not be probing anymore, but they're definitely watching, probably judging. So yeah, maybe one day they'll beam back down. Until then, keep your eyes peeled and your pants on, because in South Park, no butt is safe.
Yeah, you what? He's trying to reverse your polarities.
What? Get in the car, Judy. Get in the car.
The big red guy himself, Satan, South Park's most dramatic diva, and possibly the only ruler of hell who'd cry if his birthday party didn't have enough cupcakes. Before Randy started fighting bat demons or Cartman became a robot, South Park's chaos had one real king, the Prince of Darkness, with serious emotional baggage. South Park's love affair with religious parody started early. First, it was Jesus versus Santa. Then came Jesus versus Satan. Talk about upgrading the final boss fight! Satan showed up looking like the world's angriest WWE wrestler and quickly became one of the most iconic lost characters in the show's wild early years. Who could forget Hell on Earth 2006? That episode turned Satan into a spoiled Sweet 16 queen, throwing a meltdown bigger than Cartman's after being told he can't have more cheesy poofs. The Devil of Eternal Fire was literally crying because his party theme got messed up. It's not about them, it's all about me! And honestly, he ate that line, literally and emotionally. But let's not forget the South Park movie, Bigger, Longer, and Uncut, where Satan got into a full-blown relationship with Saddam Hussein. Yep, you heard that right. The ruler of hell is dating a dead dictator in one of the most toxic love stories ever animated. Someone called Dr. Phil. Satan later made a comeback in season 22's Nobody Got Cereal, when the boys summoned him to fight Man-Bear-Pig, basically climate change with claws. Satan actually went full superhero mode, and then died heroically. Plot twist. He got sent to heaven. So yeah, Satan's officially gone, chilling with angels, probably complaining about the harp music. R.I.P. to the most fabulous demon South Park ever had. Which lost South Park character should haunt the town next?
Halloween is a night for evil. It is time for me to take what is mine.
Ladies and gentlemen, hold on to your meatballs, because we're talking about Chef, the only man in South Park who could fry chicken, drop wisdom, and flirt with your mom all in the same sentence. This man didn't just cook meals, he cooked vibes. When Chef walked into a room, even Cartman behaved. for like 5 seconds. Voiced by the legend Isaac Hayes, Chef was basically the town's smooth-talking soul machine. Anytime the boys got into some wild nonsense, murdering teachers, summoning demons, or starting cults, Chef would sigh, roll his eyes, and say, "Children, what the hell is wrong with you?" Then he'd sing a love song about it. Instant classic. Chef wasn't just a side character, he was the South Park adult. The man had an album, Chef Aid, a video game, Chef's Love Shack, and more charm than Randy on Margarita Night. Everything was groovy until 2005, when South Park dropped Trapped in the Closet, the infamous Scientology episode that made half of Hollywood hide under a blanket. The Church of Scientology was not amused, and since Isaac Hayes was a member, things got hotter than Hell's Kitchen. Isaac quit, or as his son later claimed, was forced out, and the creators responded in the most South Park way possible by roasting everyone. In The Return of Chef, they brought him back as a brainwashed weirdo in the Super Adventure Club, which was basically Scientology with hiking boots. The episode ends with Chef dying a heroic, ridiculous death. And yes, it's still emotional even if you're laughing through tears. Chef may be gone, but his spirit lives on in smooth jazz, bad pickup lines, and perfectly cooked Salisbury steak. Rest easy, Chef. Heaven just got a whole lot sexier.
Leave!
Get outside!
Stop them! Children! Run!
Ever wonder what would happen if a real-life dictator became one of South Park's most ridiculous villains? Meet Saddam Hussein, America's former enemy and arguably South Park's greatest foe. Historically, Saddam ruled Iraq for around 24 years, but South Park took that history and added a ridiculous twist. Not only is he evil, but he's also Satan's boyfriend. In Season 2's opener, Terrence and Philip. Not without my anus, Saddam launches a dastardly plan to take over the world by starting in Canada. He sends Iraqi troops, kidnaps Celine Dion, and even renames Canada New Baghdad. It's an obvious nod to his real-life attempt to invade Kuwait, which led to a massive military response from the West under President George H.W. Bush. America crushed Saddam's army in real life, but in South Park, the show had a field day mocking him. Fast forward to South Park. Bigger, longer, and uncut. And Saddam is still a thorn in everyone's side. He's manipulative, evil, and a terrible boyfriend to Satan. The movie even highlights Satan finally standing up to him, proving that sometimes you can love someone, but still know they're wrong for you. And much like Kenny, Saddam seems to die repeatedly, whether from fart clouds, wild boars, or general chaos, only to return later, still plotting world domination. The character resurfaced during the early 2000s, reflecting real-world events like the US invasion of Iraq. The show used Saddam's likeness from when the military captured him in 2006, blending political satire with its ongoing storyline. Eventually, the real-life execution of Saddam led to the quiet retirement of his character in the series. No jokes left to tell, no schemes left to hatch. Even after his retirement, Saddam's influence lingered in South Park through his relationship with Satan. While Saddam himself stopped appearing, Satan still made sporadic appearances, always reminding fans of the chaos Saddam had caused. And in a meta twist, the season 27 premiere brought back the spirit of Saddam under a completely new guise, showing how South Park loves to recycle ideas while keeping fans on their toes. Saddam Hussein in South Park is more than just a caricature of a dictator. He's a symbol of how the show blends real-world history, pop culture, and absurd humor, creating a villain that's simultaneously terrifying, ridiculous, and unforgettable.
A dictator from the Middle East? Hey, relax, guy. I'm just your average Joe. Take a ride.
Ever wonder what would happen if a polite British schoolboy wandered into the most chaotic, foul-mouthed town in America? Well, meet Pip, the kid who showed up in South Park saying cheerio and immediately got hit with a "shut up, Pip" from literally everyone. Poor guy didn't stand a chance. Not against Cartman, not against reality, and definitely not against American sarcasm. Before Butters became everyone's favorite innocent punching bag, Pip was actually the original version. He had that old English accent, sheepish smile, and the overall energy of a kid who apologizes when you step on his foot. He was basically Butters without the puppy eyes. Just pure, awkward politeness served with a side of tea and sadness. But fans weren't exactly thrilled. Matt Stone and Trey Parker even admitted they wanted to kill him off during season 1. They stopped short, maybe because it was too soon to start murdering kids who weren't named Kenny. Still, it was clear Pip wasn't winning any popularity contests in Colorado. Then came the Pip episode, South Park's wild take on Great Expectations. It was supposed to be clever, and ended up being the show's most divisive episode ever. Some fans loved it. Most went, "Bro, where are the boys?" It's safe to say people's expectations were not great. Eventually, Pip's time came to an explosive end when Mechistan vaporized him. 1 second, he's politely asking not to have his town destroyed. The next, he's tea and toast dust. Tragic and very British. But in true South Park fashion, even this underdog has found a cult following years later. Somewhere out there, Pip fans are still raising their cups, whispering, "Good show, old boy."
Oh my god! They killed Kenny! You bastard!
Subscribe now, or your snacks will mysteriously disappear. What happened to Officer Barbrady? The man could watch an alien abduction in broad daylight and still say, "Nothing to see here, folks." Back in the early South Park days, Barbrady was the only cop in town, which is like making Cartman the gym teacher. He was clueless, loud, and somehow in charge. Every time something serious happened, he'd just bumble through like a human traffic cone. He couldn't even spell book depository, and that was literally part of his investigation. The guy made Chief Wiggum from The Simpsons look like Sherlock Holmes, but times changed, and South Park upgraded. In Season 7's Lil Crime Stoppers, we met Sergeant Yates, who brought actual police work, stings, and a whole squad. Suddenly, Barbrady went from law enforcement hero to that guy who used to have a badge. Yates might have been smarter, but not by much. At least he knew the difference between a suspect and a house cat. Still, poor Barbrady was left behind like a forgotten side quest. Things only got worse in Season 19, when Barbrady accidentally shot an unarmed 6-year-old. Yeah, not his best moment. The mayor fired him on the spot, saying he was from another time, which is basically code for please leave before you do something else stupid. Barbrady did get a brief redemption arc later that season, joining the anti-ad resistance. Yes, fighting evil ads trying to take over South Park, but after 2015, he vanished completely, becoming one of the show's many lost souls. Maybe he's still out there looking for the book depository, or maybe he's trying to write a parking ticket that makes sense. Either way, rest easy, officer. You did your best, kind of.
Freeze! You're busted, buddy. I'm a cat. Oh, what? It's a sting operation, scumbag, and you're going to jail for soliciting.
Ever wonder what would happen if your school principal could both inspire you and terrify you at the same time? Meet Principal Victoria, South Park's quietly brilliant lost character. On the surface, she seems like your standard principal, but dig a little deeper and she's equal parts caring mentor and, well, slightly murderous. Victoria shines in Season 12, when Cartman relentlessly bullies Wendy about a serious woman's disease. She gives one of the most touching speeches in South Park history, telling Wendy that it doesn't matter if you beat the bully. What matters is refusing to let that fat little lump make you feel powerless. Honestly, it's hard not to get emotional watching it, but don't let that fool you. Principal Victoria has a darker side. In Season 3, during the Cartman Versus Marsh trial, she casually admits she killed a man, chopped up the body, and failed at burning it. And if that wasn't enough, she even tried to off Cartman and bass to mouth to cover up the teacher's poisoning of students. Classic South Park chaos. Despite all her crimes, none of that got her fired. Nope, she was let go because she represented another time in South Park. Much like Officer Barbrady, Matt Stone and Trey Parker simply wanted to move on, replacing her with PC Principal. PC Principal may be loud, obnoxious, and far from perfect, but he fits the modern era of the show. Victoria, on the other hand, was a complex character, fiery, criminally inclined, yet capable of genuinely connecting with the kids. She had so much potential to be a true beacon of hope for South Park Elementary, something PC Principal can't quite match. For now, Principal Victoria remains a lost character, a woman with a heart, a past, and the courage to stand up to Cartman, and we can only dream of her returning.
Move that costume immediately.
I can't. I have to win those 2 tons of candy.
Well, how about we make your new costume?
Learning. Imagine a world where South Park Elementary actually has a teacher who knows what she's doing. Sounds like a dream, right? Enter Margaret Nelson, the rare unicorn of competence in a school full of chaos. After Mr. Garrison ran off to chase his presidential ambitions, because naturally he's a teacher-turned-politician, Miss Nelson swooped in like a cape-wearing superhero, armed with lesson plans instead of superpowers. For the students, she was a breath of fresh air. Finally, someone could teach math without making it feel like rocket science designed by monkeys. She actually cared about the kids, kept things organized, and didn't start random side quests involving government conspiracies. A true miracle in South Park. But of course, this is South Park, so nothing lasts. Much like her eccentric predecessor, Miss Chokesundick, Miss Nelson's run was tragically cut short. Carbon monoxide poisoning did her in. The universe's way of saying, sorry kids, chaos waits for no competent teacher. Her untimely exit cleared the stage for Mr. Garrison's chaotic return, proving that even competent teachers aren't safe in this town. This all happened in 2021, shortly after Donald Trump left office, because timing in South Park is always perfect for satire.
Hello, Mrs. Nelson. We got your vaccination for you, Miss Nelson. Boys.
Miss Nelson may have been gone too soon, but she reminded everyone that a little competence goes a long way, until comedy chaos inevitably snatches it away. So here's to Margaret Nelson, a fleeting hero in a town ruled by lunacy, who proved that sometimes the most extraordinary thing in South Park isn't fart jokes or world-ending antics.
Them. Yeah, why? Those men will show those skanky hoes who's who. Yeah, those girls don't realize what good sledders Stan, Kyle, and Kitty are.
It's just a teacher doing her job. Don't stop now. Click the next video before your brain melts from boredom.